So as it is, it's a beautiful, 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 beautiful day. Markets just opened, but not for gold. It's going to open in a few. And today, all I'm going to do is show you my strategy again and again and again and again. It's a very easy strategy to go through. To I will go through the trades I took um, back on Friday. So essentially, this is a voiceover. I really don't have a mic right now, but I'll get one. So essentially, I always start from the daily time frame. Um, you can see here I was going through why I go through the daily time frame, and it's just because to get your bias for the day is one of the most easiest things you can do in trading. So basically, seeing how Thursday's candle closed, it closed in a doji, a bearish doji, or whatever the case may be. It closed bearish. So coming through the next day, a lot of people would think I would go bearish. There are times I would go bearish, which is very, very true. But looking at that structure, when you go to the lower time frame, basically, on the lower time frame, you'll get to see that this is just push up, a retest, and then a push back up. And essentially, it is meaning the market was just retesting using the Thursday market structure, and it was going to retest that particular support. So coming through the next day, I knew we were bullish all in all. So that I have a bias for the day, meaning what I want to do for Tokyo is I want to buy. So when you get your daily bias, follow your daily bias unless otherwise. We have circumstances where the bias can change, but for this one, it was full on bullish. And where was I targeting? I was targeting previous daily highs for Tokyo session, and yes, uh, you can see the indicator right there, the trading session indicators. I just had it on just to show you guys what essentially I go through on a daily in every session. So where Tokyo started, you can see Tokyo started bearish. Why? It's because the previous day started bearish, so it had to go hold support somewhere before rallying back up. And at that particular support is where I was looking for the sweep of structure or the liquidity sweep. So coming through to the 1 hour, I never really saw a lot. I just waited. And once I saw that sweep, I was in the money. I was so excited. And yes, um, so once you get your daily bias, come down to the 1 hour, check your time frames, check for liquidity sweep. You can see right there, I marked it out. And we already have a target. We have the previous daily highs. You can see we are holding support right there. So that's another confirmation that you're going to go bullish. So essentially, what I do is after I've marked the liquidity sweep, if that market rallies back up and closes, or not close, the 5 minute closes at the hourly flip, that is when I take my buys. So here you can see what I do. So at the 1 hour, after I've marked the liquidity and I have my targets already, the second or the third thing I do is you can see I've marked the body of that hourly candle. Because if it reflips back up and closes bullish on the 5 minutes, I'm going to enter for my bullish trade. So went down to the 5 minutes. Yeah, right here you can see that we closed bullish on that 5 minutes, and it was really strong and it reflipped the hourly. So I waited for the next 5 minutes, entered, risk off those lows, and you already have a target, which is your previous daily high. And you can see it right there. So we also had other liquidity levels right there. And that is what I like to see. If I see a structure like that, I like it. I'll take the trade 99%. So usually what I do is when I'm in a trade like this and the market reaches around that resistance level, I usually cut my trade. I'll take partials and go break even, or just go break even and don't take partials, because I usually like to see how it reacts off of it. And you can see we hit a nice trade. It was a 1 to 6 risk to reward ratio trade. And yes, going through the day. Remember, I have a bias already. I was waiting for London, and at the start, usually I start around 20 minutes before the session starts, just to see what happens in the market. And coming down to the hourly, I never really saw something. So I went down to the 30 minutes to look. And what I saw right at the start of London, you can see we had a sweep. Again, we had a sweep. And this one was a really tricky one, because you never really had an obvious target on your left side. So that was the first target. And I was waiting for you can see I went down to look for liquidity on the left side. And it was a really nice liquidity level. You can see it right there. I marked it out with a blue line. Thinking of maybe trading these sessions, maybe live, maybe Asian sessions live, maybe. But yeah, so you can see I marked out that particular liquidity up there. And yeah, I went down to the 30 minutes to mark the reflip. So usually I mark the liquidity, then the body is where I mark, because if it reflips that, there's a higher chance of going back bullish. So I came down to the 30 minutes again. I marked out my liquidity level and my first take profit as well. So you can see right there is where I mark the reflip, because essentially, if this was a live market, that candle would be going bearish. But if it reflips back up, that means there's a lot of bullish momentum, and it is a sweep candle, so it has taken out a lot of early buyers or sellers. So yes, and you can see here it was a really tight trade, because the first take profit was really small, but we already had a second liquidity target, and I liked it, and we closed bullish there. So what I did is that risk of those lows, it is the same thing all through. It is the same thing all through. So yes, you can see we hit another beautiful trade there during London. And yeah, we were just waiting for New York again to go bullish. I knew like there's no way that candle would close bearish, or even half, or even near the previous daily high. So I knew New York was just going to go bullish over and over again. So yeah, let me put back the indicator just for you guys to see what was going on there. And I essentially look for the same things. So here, coming through to the 1 hour, I never really saw a sweep, and I start 20 minutes before the session starts. So I saw this particular sweep right there, but the sweep closed bearish. So I had to wait a bit. So what if I see a market like this, I want to take the trade if it reflips the high of that bearish candle. So you can see that sweep there. Easily it could come bearish. That's why I expect to see a sweep of that bearish body high, sorry. So yes, essentially we had that, and we had two targets. We had the first one right there, and we had the second one right there. So we have our trades, we have our sweep, we have our flip entry position, we have our first target and our second target. That is all you need. You need for a candle to sweep, you need the bias, you need a sweep, you need a flip for entry on the 5 minutes, and then you need a target. You need a liquidity target. And you can see that was also a fake out. A lot of fake outs was happening. Market was really choppy right here, but we already know what we are looking for, and we already have our flip. And you can see right there, it flipped with that bullish candle closed above our flip. I waited for the retest just because the previous candle closed bearish. And yeah, so I waited for it to reflip that retest. So we entered off that retest, the reflip of that retest. Hold on. Yes, right there. Beautiful. And I had a risk under that 5 minute candle where you can see we also had a tiny sweep, and we had a beautiful trade. This was 1 to 8 RR, but you never really want to focus on your risk to reward ratio. If it's that, but even a 1 to 1 is good enough for you to be profitable. Yes, because it's never really about how much money you make, but did the trade play out? It did. Did you follow your plan? Yes, I did. And if I really wanted to increase my earnings on this particular trade, I would have increased my lot size. But it doesn't. If you have a small account, I don't think it's ideal for you to do that. You can always get another trade, and you already have, if you had these 3 trades for the day, you're already good. So that is essentially what we had. I am going to post probably tomorrow. I'm going to post the Tokyo session. I will trade it live, and see you guys on the next one.